Hello, everybody, and welcome to this new moon session. And you may be thinking to yourself, well, you know what? Hope it's not new moon yet. And while that may be true, this little exercise that we're going to be doing today is going to prepare you for the new moon, which is on Sunday. And let me tell you, it's going to be a monumental kind of a day. Not only is it a new moon in Leo, but it is also the opening of the Lionsgate portal. Now, the Lionsgate, just to kind of give you some background, you may have been hearing some buzz around it and all. It is tied into 8-8. There is a numerological significance to this day, but more importantly, it aligns with the Syrian solstice, for lack of a better time. So much like when our solar solstice is coming around, our summer and winter solstice, and the sun's energy is much larger, so is the Syrian solstice. That is when the impact of that energy is so much higher. And I could spend all day talking about, Sirius and the significance to it, to humanity and all that good stuff. But you only have to look at the history of our planet to understand that the importance has been understood for eons, eons, and eons. On every continent, temples are aligned to Orion's belt, which is where Sirius lives. So it is monumental to our spiritual evolution. And when that Lion's Gate opens up, the potential for improving your life, for leveling up in your own spiritual development and evolution is even higher. You may even get some DNA uploads. You could your psychic ability could be strengthened during this time. There are so many blessings that could be flooding through this portal. Now, hello, Peggy. How are you, my dear? Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am sure that you are going to put this opportunity to good use on Sunday. So this is a good place to start with cutting cords. And that's exactly where I was going to go in my conversation here, is that in order to prepare ourselves, to open ourselves to receive, the blessings that are going to be pouring through this portal, for the Lionsgate, it is best to cut cords with all the things that no longer serve you. As human beings, one of our driving factors, good or bad, doesn't matter which way we go with it, is our emotions. Our emotions are an energy force, okay? And when we are energetically connecting with people, with beliefs, with different situations, we are cording ourselves to it energetically. They become a part of who we are, and that could be good and it could be bad, and I'll definitely talk about that as we go along this class. But it's really important to recognize when you're being negatively influenced by an energetic cord that you have made with a person, a situation, or a limiting belief. And today you get to learn how to cut those cords so they no longer negatively influence you. Now, there are some caveats to this, and we'll go over them, but it's a good, I call it psychic hygiene. It's just good psychic hygiene to regularly cut cords, and you don't have to know necessarily what those cords are, okay? You can make it a generic situation where all cords that don't serve your highest good are severed. So just like every Sunday I do mine. Every Sunday I just sit down and whatever I've emotionally corded with that no longer serves my highest good, I make sure I sever those cords. And as I say, sometimes I don't even know what they are. It's that emotional pull. And it's just really good hygiene, spiritual hygiene, psychic hygiene to cut those cords. So let me bring up my notes and we are going to get started. Is there any questions you have so far though? Hang on, you guys. Here we go. So I'm going to push my notes over here so that if you have any questions or comments, I can certainly see them. And I do invite them don't wait until the end of the class. I mean, you certainly can, but I mean, just go ahead and ask the question so that I can see it. I may um, answer it later, or I may answer it right away. So let's get going here. If you do not know me, my name is Reverend Hope Suggett. I am a divine feminine shamanic minister in the wise woman tradition. The Y.E.S channel here on YouTube is dedicated to teaching people how to live their best and highest good, which is one of the reasons why we are here tonight. Feel free to explore all of the folders on this channel. I have some guided meditations, frequencies that you may be interested in, tutorials, all kinds of teachable moments that you might find interested. Now, I have monthly things that come up, and then I add things as well. And in order for you not to miss anything, I'd appreciate if you go ahead, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you can always know when I've uploaded something new or I go live. So there's a lot happening in the month of August, and I'd hate for you to miss any of it. So let's see. I do want to specifically ask at this time, you guys, if you would just um, kind of start thinking about some classes that you might want me to teach or some products that you might want me to review, and go ahead and shoot me an email. I will put a link to my website as well as my email address in the description of this video when I post it so that you know how to contact me. So if you could start thinking along those lines and just let me know how I can best serve you, I'd really appreciate it. So let's just first of all explain what courting means, what it actually is. Courting is a term that describes an energetic connection between living beings, emotional situations, and limiting beliefs that were formed with intense emotions. These could be wanted connections or unwanted connections. So, some examples of some wanted connections is if you were to witness, um, for instance, the birth of a child. That's a beautiful thing. And that's also, now I'm not saying that every time you witness the birth of a child, you're going to accord with that child or the situation, but it's usually a very highly emotional moment, and chords can certainly be created in that moment. Now, this is especially true for empaths. If you know that you are an empathic person and that you do pick up on other people's thoughts and feelings, then you can bet that you have courted to different highly emotional situations that have happened in your life. Those situations, those chords could be robbing you of your energy, okay? Through chords, you could be feeling other people's pain, you could be feeling their anxieties and fears, they could be draining your energy, all that kind of stuff. And this is why cutting cords is so important. So that's one example of be like a good chord that you might want to keep, intact, and that's entirely up to you. When we go to actually go through the process of cutting cords tonight, I do have a little thing that you can say that will safeguard those cords that you want to keep, okay? And only cut the ones that no longer serve you. So stay tuned for that. So courting happens, like I said, during highly emotional situations that happens specifically during sex, okay? I mean, that whole making love, the sex act is just the perfect courting situation. You're emotionally charged, you are connected to somebody physically and energetically, and chords you can bet are being created. It's the easiest way to chord with somebody is through sex. So if you are thinking about all the people that you have had sex with in the past that are no longer in your life, you are still courted to those people. Okay? And it is time to cut cords with them. They could be what is holding you back, from your own life path. So think about those kind of situations. If you are involved in a car accident, witnessed a car accident, or anybody getting injured, tragically being killed, anything like that, that's a highly charged emotional situation, and you can bet that you are courted to that situation, if not to the person that you have witnessed being injured. Okay? It could be a situational thing that you're courted to, with memories of it coming through you all the time and just affecting you, even if you're not cognitive of it. So you can still be courted. Yeah, so that's basically it. Think about any highly charged situation that you have been in. Sometimes I've talked about limiting beliefs being an issue that you could be courted with. Sometimes those limiting beliefs come from painful moments. So if somebody has betrayed you, for instance, and it has really just kind of like gotten into your psyche and who you are and become a limiting belief, that also could be holding you back. It could be holding you back from forming other healthy and loving relationships. Okay, so it is time to cut the cords with those kind of situations and those limiting beliefs. That's just one of them. There's many, many different limiting beliefs that you might be ready to shed, release yourself from, so that you can move forward in your life. You know what, Peggy? That is a good point. And if you guys can't see her comment, let me just read it to you. She says, courting sure can make it confusing when attempting to see clearly and make good choices. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking. Yes, especially if you're empathic. You don't know, is this mine? Is this my stuff? Is this somebody else's stuff? But when you routinely, consistently are cutting cords with that no longer serves you, then you can bet that you are shedding all of that stuff and getting it out of your way so that you can see clearly and make the right choices and be open to the guidance that is coming through higher channels. Okay? So all of that, sorry, I just walked the boat there a little bit. So again, people who have empathic gifts, you can even be courted to strangers. Okay, so just be mindful of that. This is a good practice to do. Like I said, at least on a weekly basis, but you might want to do it daily. Okay, and we'll talk more about it. So how courting affects you, no matter what vibration created the cord that you experience, it could it could impact you adversely and cause unwanted limitations in your life. It can create the inability to enjoy sex, to feel safe. You might even feel disinterested in life in general. You might feel distracted from it. You might find yourself self medicating and not even know why. Okay? It could be over shopping, eating, drugs, alcohol. All of this self medication is to be dealing with emotions that you don't know how else to deal with them. That is how we self medicate. That is why we self medicate. However, when you start cutting cords, you're no longer negatively impacted by all that. And you don't need to self medicate and distract yourself from your own pain. You can just cut yourself off from it, okay? Now, I would caution you that when you cut cords, you don't want to go and test it. You don't want to go, I wonder if it really worked, and go poke at it. Because every time, I look at it this way. Every time you go and poke at something that you cut cords with, it's like ripping a Band-Aid off a wound. That wound will never heal if you keep ripping the Band-Aid off. So if you keep revisiting those painful moments that have you corded to a person or a situation or a limiting belief, you're never going to get over it. You're never going to heal from it. You'll keep recording to it. Okay? That is how it happens. A cord that is created through an emotional situation or experience, you can sever it, but the minute you revisit it and start feeling those same emotions, you create the cord again. Okay? So when you cut cords, Be done with it. Be done with it. Don't go keep revisiting the situation to test it. Okay? It's just really not a healthy practice. In most instances, you may not even be aware why you're feeling the way that you are. And so you end up doubting yourself, withdrawing from yourself, and self medicating, as I already talked about. So it's okay. It's okay not to know what cords you've created. It's okay to not fully understand exactly how they're impacting you and influencing your decisions and the energy that you're drawing to you. Okay, it's okay to not understand all that. What's not okay is to continue living like that without taking some action to stop it and to make it better. So that's why you're here tonight. This isn't about being so connected with somebody that you feel their acute distress. That's empathy. That is a gift, okay? And I have a little class that you can do online that will teach you how to determine if it is your feelings and emotions or if it belongs to somebody else and what to do about it. The gift of empathy is a powerful and amazing thing. You just have to understand how to use it so you're not hurt by it. Now, courting isn't about that. When you can empathize with somebody, that's not going to go away just by cutting cords. Okay, your empathy will always be there for you unless you yourself consciously turn it off. And I hope you don't do that. This the situations of courting is the energy is more subtle and it's accumulative. So the longer that you are corded with somebody, the stronger the cord becomes and the more damaging the cord can become, especially if it's not a pleasant experience that was created out of love. Now, I want you to think back to when you were in love, when you were in a loving relationship with somebody. I'm sure at some point you could almost feel that maybe they were having a bad day and so you would call them, or you might feel that they needed you in some way, especially with a mother and a child. Those kind of cords are especially strong, and you can always feel when there's something wrong with your child, when there's something up, when you're waiting for your husband to come home and they're very, very late. You can kind of almost feel that there's something wrong and that you can, follow up with that. But that is courting. That's the energy that's created when you're courted with somebody. That's different than empathy. I hope that you can make that distinction, okay? Because courting is very, very different from empathy. It is, like I said, subtle, it accumulates over time, and it is strengthened over time. So people who've been married for 50, 60 years have a stronger cord than somebody who's been married for like maybe 6 months. Do you see what I'm saying? It's more subtle. That's why sometimes you're not aware of it. However, with empathy, you're aware of it right away. Even if you don't know where it's coming from, you can feel it. Okay? So courting is more subtle than that. And that's why it's so dangerous. Because if you're not doing a regular cord cutting and for psychic hygiene and everything, you could just be dragging all of this past along with you. This is baggage. All right. When they talk about not taking baggage into a relationship, this is what baggage is. It's all the situations and pain and sorrow and people that you courted with that you're dragging along with you into a new relationship. Okay. So, what you can do about cords. You need to cut cords on a regular basis. If you find that that is not effective, that it is not really changing how you feel, because when you cut cords, you should be able to feel lighter and brighter instantly, not just physically and spiritually and emotionally, but just all over generally feel lighter and brighter. Okay. If you are not feeling lighter and brighter, it's not because you're cutting cords wrong. It's because what you're corded to has got such a strong hold on you that you need an energy worker to get in there and cut the cords, bandage you up, energetically, and then send you on your way. Get into your subtle energy bodies and clear all those thought forms out. And it's a little bit of a process, okay? But don't shortchange yourself just because you don't, know how to go about doing it yourself. At least start helping yourself by cutting cords where you can. And if it doesn't work as effectively as you want it to, see an energy worker and let them do it for you, okay? And then you need to retrain yourself not to become emotional when you think of these things again. So, say like you have an ex husband that you would just love to cut cords with, go ahead and do it. But do not be surprised if all of a sudden that individual wants a lot more of your attention. Because when you cut cords with somebody, a person, they can feel it. They can feel you withdrawing from them. They can feel that energy being pulled away from them, and they may reach out to you. Okay. Now, how you handle that is up to you. But if you decide to engage with that person again, make sure that you do it in such a manner that you're not triggered emotionally to record, to get those cords reconnected. Okay. So the ex husband is calling you, oh, I was just thinking about you and thought I would check in with you. Be very calm. Don't get upset. Don't start rehashing the past. Do not reconnect those cords again. All right. This is a retrainment. You have to emotionally monitor yourself and make sure that those cords are not brought back to life, so to speak. Reading a question here. No, Peggy, no. Once you have cut cords with somebody, they cannot record. They cannot say, oh, I miss Peggy, so I'm just going to pull her back. You have to give them permission to do that. And the way you give them permission to do that is by engaging with them in the same high, intense emotional state that created the cord to begin with. No. Once you cut cords with somebody, they cannot record. You have to, it's on you. It's really on you to do that. They can try to hook you. They can try to pull you back in and do that, but you have to stand firm and say, no, I'm not having that conversation. No, you're not going to trigger me. No, I'm not going to get upset about this. I'm done with it. I'm ready to put it in the past where it belongs and move forward. So, if you guys are ready, I am going to go ahead and walk you through the demonstration. Now, this is something you're going to want to do while you are sitting. Okay, this is not something that you can really do effectively while you are laying down. All right, so make sure that you're sitting in a chair. Make sure that your feet are on the ground or at least on a pillow or cushion, so that you are fully supported and that you can relax. Make sure that there is that you're like not stretched out like this, or that your legs are sticking out or anything, but you're sitting just straight upright, okay? And you'll see why this is so important in a moment. Oops, excuse me. Now, whenever I start doing energy work or meditation or anything like that, I like to just ground myself. Now, you might be familiar with the term, but not quite sure how to do it. And there are many, many grounding techniques out there in the world, and people will teach you. But to find the one that's most effective for you, you're going to have to experience them, okay, for yourself. So the one that I like to teach is about, it starts with our personal energy, our personal power, which resides in the core of us, in our belly, between the second and third chakra. There is a little bit of a golden energy there called your dantian. This is a martial arts term, but I don't know what other term to call it. It's not a chakra. It's not a chakra. It is about 2 inches below your belly, 2 inches below your belly button, and maybe an inch or two into your belly. It's just like a grapefruit or orange-sized little ball of energy. It looks very much like our sun. It is your life force, your chi, okay? Your dantian. And when you just bring your awareness to your dantian, allow a golden cord to drop from your dantian through the rest of your core, through your second and first chakra, and into the ground. And let it become like a taproot, like from a plant or a tree. And let it just drop right into the center of the earth and ground you. You should feel a little heaviness when you do that. You should just feel a little more deeper into the chair that you're sitting in. Okay? So just take a moment to ground yourself through your dantian and allow that golden cord to just ease into the earth and anchor you there. Just anchor and hold you steady. And when you feel grounded, I want you then to just surround yourself with a wall of protection. It doesn't have to be anything grandiose, but just imagine that maybe a brick wall is coming up around you, or you might imagine that a ring of fire is surrounding you. Whatever you think of as protection, call it to you now. Just allow it to encircle you, maybe about 2 feet out from your body. Not very far, it doesn't have to encircle the whole room. It's just guarding your own personal space from any unwanted energies or entities. Just surround yourself. You can even call in all your ancestors to hold hands and circle around you. Angels, anything like that. And then I want you to call yourself home. This technique allows all of your scattered energy that you have put out into the world today to come rushing back to you. Okay? And you can do this out loud or silently with just your inner awareness. Say your name 3 times. And each time you say your name, imagine that all your scattered energy is rushing right back to that circle that you have already created, joining you, returning to you, much like when you call children home for dinner. You should feel a subtle difference when you call yourself home. You should feel more complete and more yourself. Like, complete is the only word that comes to me. Whole. Like all of the parts of you that you've been giving away are now returned to you, and you're now complete. So after you've ground yourself, after you've surrounded yourself with protection, and after you have called yourself home to yourself, I want you to imagine using your inner vision, which is more powerful than the vision of your 2 eyes, but with your inner vision, I want you to see that a golden hoop is circling above you. It's about as wide as your body. So however wide you are, that's how wide your golden hoop is, okay? This golden hoop is moving very fast, like this, like a helicopter blade. It's just circling you very, very fast, like a bandsaw. And as it descends over you, over your shoulders, your knees, your toes, it doesn't touch any part of your body, But as it descends, it is disconnecting every cord that no longer serves you. And in order to ensure that those are the only cords that are being cut, just say out loud or to yourself, I cut cords with all that doesn't serve my best and highest good. I cut cords with all that no longer serves my best and highest good. And keep repeating that as that hoop descends over your body, cutting cords, cutting every cord that's attached in every part of your body. Now you may feel those cords disconnecting, and that is fine, okay? There's nothing wrong with it. There's not going to be any pain. It's going to feel like a release, like you are just letting go of a heavy weight. Those cords that are holding you back, that are weighing you down, are just going to snap through this golden hoop descending over your body and into the ground. Now you may want to repeat that again, seeing this golden hoop spinning around your body, allowing it to fall over your body, not touching any part of you, but cutting every cord that no longer serves your best and highest good. Let's practice that for just a moment. Closing your eyes, seeing that golden hoop above your head, wide enough to descend over your entire body without touching it. It may be moving so fast it's a blur, but allow it to descend over you and cut every cord that no longer serves your best and highest good. Allow that cord to sink into the earth, allow that hoop to sink into the earth. And another one appears above you, moving just as fast, descending over you, but not touching you, cutting all the cords that no longer serve your best and highest good, and then descending into the earth. You can do that as many times as necessary until you can literally feel a lighter and brighter you emerging. And when you are complete, when you feel that freedom, I want you then to just shield yourself in white light, much like you're wrapping a wound in white gauze, okay? You've seen those bandages that wrap around your arm or your leg or your ankle, those white gauzy bandages. Imagine that that white light is descending all around your body, filling in all the spaces where cords were cut. You do not want to leave those exposed. You want to heal them. You want to bandage them, okay? So that's what you're doing. You're energetically applying a bandage to where those cords were cut so that you don't leak any of your energy and no energies can flood back. Again, I would caution you to not remove those band-aids by always revisiting those painful moments and rethinking them and re-experiencing them and having the same emotions, because boom, as soon as you do, that cord is reattached, okay? You want to practice letting it go. Just when your thoughts turn there, turn your thoughts somewhere else. That is as simple as that. Pretty soon will become easier and easier and easier. With practice, those cords will be gone forever. forever and you'll never be impacted by them again. But because you're new at this and new at experiencing what it is to be free from all of these painful energetic cords, it is a good idea to keep cutting them. Just keep cutting them and keep rebandaging them. Does that make sense? If you have any thoughts or questions, I'd love to hear about them. Let me just go over some cautions with you. I will also post these cautions in the description of the video so that you'll always be reminded, and you can always come back and watch this video again and learn the technique and go through it step by step, okay? So let's just do a quick review. You want to first just set aside the time and be sitting up in an upright chair with your feet on the floor or on a cushion so that you're fully supported. You want to ground yourself using whatever technique is familiar and comfortable and effective for you. There are many, okay? I I may have a video for you. If I do, I'll put a link of that to that in the description of the video as well. So you want to ground yourself. You want to surround yourself with protection. And this is just as easy as closing your eyes and allowing your inner vision to create that wall of protection, whatever it is. A brick wall, a ring of fire, a ring of your ancestors, a pack of guard dogs, wolves, whatever calls to you as a protective energy. Surround yourself with it, okay? Back, front, all sides of you is a wall of protection, okay? Then you want to call yourself home. Collect all of your energy that you have got scattered out there in the world. Just collect all of it back to yourself. When you feel complete with those 3 steps, you want to imagine a golden hoop as wide around as your body, spinning above your head like a helicopter blade. It's just spinning so fast. And as it descends upon you, instruct it. Cut all cords that no longer serve my best and highest good, and allow that golden hoop to descend into the earth. And then repeat it, and keep repeating it until you feel free. And then allow the white healing light to surround you and close off all of the spots where cords were attached to you. Like a band-aid, it's just going to fill in all of the holes, okay? And then you're complete. Your cautions are, don't keep revisiting the pain. When you keep pulling the band-aid off, the wound cannot heal. Don't keep poking it, okay? Also, I would caution you that you cannot ever, ever, ever cut cords with your mother. It doesn't matter how badly you want it. It doesn't matter if she's no longer in your life. It doesn't even matter if she's deceased. That cord will always exist. The only thing you can do if it's a situation that you no longer want to be corded with her, the only thing you can do is mitigate the damage that cording is being done on you. And there's ways to do that. Make sure that you talk to an energy worker and have them help you with that, okay? There are ways to mitigate that, but don't ever expect that you're going to cut cords with your mama, because you never will, all right? Let's see. That's pretty much it, really. Don't keep revisiting it. Don't keep revisiting it, even if it revisits you, all right? Even if that ex calls you and tries to poke you and hook you and try to cause some mess in your life, don't allow yourself to do it. When you get off the phone, cut cords again. Cut cords again, all right? And keep cutting cords. There's also something else that you can do that will help you after you cut cords. It's called a psychic shower. And I'll put a link to that video in the description of this one so that you can learn how to cleanse your subtle energy bodies from any debris any limiting thoughts, anything that is clouding your subtle energy bodies and keeping you feeling gunky, energetically gunky. This is like a little shower that will lighten everything. I'll put a link to that into this description of this video as well. Thank you, Peggy. I'm glad to hear that you felt that it was powerful and effective for you. And I would ask anybody who's watching this video now or anytime in the future, if you have any problems with this process, if you have any questions, if you'd like to share the experience that you had with me, I would love to hear from you. Really, I live for this. I want you to be your happy, healthy self, and I will help you in any way that I can. So if you have anything that you need clarity about, of course, just connect with me and I'll make sure that you get the help that you need. If I can't do it, I'll try to find somebody in your area who can, okay? Is there anything else that we need to talk about? I will have a link to my website, my email, the psychic shower, the grounding video if I can find it, and I will put all of those into the description of this video. Give me about 5 minutes and it will be posted for you. You're welcome to come back and visit this video anytime that you need to. And I urge you to do this work before the Lionsgate on Sunday. And if you're not already following me on the Your Essential Spirit Quest page or the Wise Women Pathways page, I invite you to do that. I will keep links, I'll put links in there as well. Because on Sunday, I'm going to be posting the first in the 14-week series of working with your Archangel allies. And I will be posting a Lionsgate ritual for you, complete with a stone grid, so that you can tap into that amazing Syrian energy that's going to be pouring forth and will help you. It will help you in so many different ways. I don't want you to miss any bit of that. And you're going to have to sweep away some stuff out of your life in order for you to be open to those potentials. So do this before Sunday, okay? You're very welcome, Peggy. Thank you for joining with me tonight. And if you have any questions or follow up for me, you know how to reach me, girlfriend. And I just wish all of you a bright, bright blessing. I love you. Be safe out there, and I'll be seeing you on Sunday, if not before. Bye-bye.